I was going to say it moves us nicely on to the question I was going to ask about. So you've obviously moved from corporate background, entrepreneur CEO position to chairman, non-exec, investor type roles. What was I going to say? What changes have you had to make to your own personal style? And I think you've just touched on it a little bit to get the best, to get probably extraordinary people to do even more extraordinary things.
Well, it's a totally different job.
Yeah.
Being the CEO, when I was the CEO of Jumpstart, it was a 24/7 job, dedicated, devoted my life to it, loved it. And when I reflect back on it, the easy part was when there was something needed to be done, I was the boss and I made the decision to say we're doing that. And you may say to me, Benedetto, I think we might want to do that differently. And I say, oh, why is that? And I would interrogate and say, that sounds like reasonably good logic, but we're not doing that because I've decided this is the way we're going. So you have the ultimate sanction of what you do and what you don't do, and you live with that decision, obviously. When you become a non-exec, you don't have the power to say or do anything really. You may be deferred to because of your experience, but effectively you've got to use the power of persuasion and influence in order to get something done the way you think it's right. So that would lead me to say to you, Benedetto, you might say, I want to, sort of kind of counselling technique, I want to run down the street and jump off that bridge. And rather than me say, don't do it, I turn my back and you've done it, I've got to then say, that sounds an interesting idea. Why don't I walk you down to the bridge and we can talk on the way there? And then on the way there, I nudge you in a different direction because I'm persuading and influencing you. So that really is quite a different skill from running a company. I didn't quite realize how challenging that might be, especially in urgent situations where you really want to take control and you can't. So that has demanded of me lots of reflection on how do I achieve this without the position of power and only the position of influence. And that's been a big learning curve for me over the last probably 5 or 6 years, but it's a fast learning curve.